Well, this is not surprising at all. People have walked away from the Acolyte, and the Nelson ratings just prove what we've been saying. It says the fan base plummets by 75%. They just had enough of this. They're like, I don't want to watch this show. It's dumb. It's dumb. I don't want to watch it. Well, Amanda Steinberg decided she was going to go on The View to talk about the criticism of the show, and it's something. It's something. But before we get into that highlight clip, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Look at that. We're almost at 90K. It's a free thing you could do to help out the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. Now, hold on. It's going to be wild.
Feels so current now with the light and the dark that we're seeing in our country. And let me ask you this. Unfortunately, the success of this show has made you a target.
The success of the show has made you a target? I don't think so. I think you got some bad information. Also, shout out to My Dirty Home for this clip. But that's the first thing you got wrong in this interview. There ain't no success to this show. Not by a long shot. Sorry to tell you.
By some in the right wing for the inclusive casting, which is something Whoopi talks about all the time.
Okay, here comes the first blame. We are blaming the right wing because the show was exclusive. Are you talking about diverse? So the right wing had a problem with that? I don't think anybody was like talking about it. I think it was more about a female-centric show. Not about diverse cast. I didn't see anybody crying about that. The show's just not good. But okay, right wing, that's the first blame.
You have received horrific racist backlash, including threats, and what you call intolerable racism. That is your quote. Can you talk about that a little bit, and what has that been like?
Yeah, absolutely. And I really appreciate you giving me the space to speak about it.
Okay, the next blame is horrific racism. Man, I gotta be honest, I need to see receipts here. I need to see this. I need to see what YouTuber is blaming the show on the color of your skin, and that's why it's bad. I want to see that, please, because, yeah, I will call them out. Because this show is terrible. It breaks the lore, and let's be honest, your acting ain't the best, and that's the director's fault. You know, the acting ain't good. People are just standing there, and the storytelling is horrific. I don't see anybody out there posting because of the color of your skin. That's why the show is bad. So please, man, post receipts. I want to see them. I want to call them out personally.
It's been very painful for me. It's not something that I think you can emotionally prepare for. And we welcome criticism of the show when it comes to storytelling or performance. But when it comes to death threats, horrific, violent, racist language, it's unacceptable.
Death threats. So wait a minute. All right, let's rewind here. You said you're open to criticism of the show, of the storytelling, things like that, which has been given, but not death threats. Well, of course not death threats, but where are the death threats? I haven't seen. What YouTuber? What news article? Tell me what's going on that's giving you death threats. Because listen, the truth is, if you're on the internet, you're going to receive death threats. We just did a whole video on Star Wars theory, and the death threats, they were given to him. Nobody has him on The View talking about that. People just want him taken care of publicly because of his opinion on a fictional character. So please, post these receipts of these people doing this kind of stuff.
To me, and I've had to think really deep and hard about when you display discipline and when you display honor. And I guess what I mean by that is when do you decide to utilize discipline to not engage in a reactive way to hatred? And when do you decide to engage in honor by honoring your values and your belief system? And in this case, I decided that was the most important thing to me, to be vocal, because I think that silence can send a message as well, and inaction can be very dangerous.
It can be very dangerous.
And so I dropped a diss track.
That's what I heard. As one does with vulnerability.
I dropped a diss track about it. And, oh, there it is!
I love that.
My goodness.
And it's, it's called Discourse. And it really is about, I mean, of course.
Well, let's be honest. I didn't even make a video on her diss track because the song was cringy and she was reacting to a clip that, yes, was taken out of context and posted about an interview a long time ago. So I was like, yeah, this isn't even worth my time. So she can sing about that however she wants. I just thought it was extremely cringy and like, well, I'll just let other people talk about it. But, you know, I feel like we are sniffing out exactly what Steph says here, some victim mentality because the show is terrible. And so it's like, hey, I'm being attacked here and people are attacking me and people are doing this to me and I'm the victim, but you're actually a product of a horrifically bad Star Wars show.
What I've been experiencing, but it's also just about the divisiveness of the culture and how difficult it is for all of us now to navigate information in this new era. It's so difficult to tell what is true, you know, online, and these online algorithms, they shape our realities and our thinking. And clickbait journalism and these algorithms also profit from our rage and our hatred. And I feel like that's something we are aware of, but we don't necessarily have enough discourse or infrastructure around because it's so new.
Clickbait journalism. Well, everybody uses clickbait because everybody wants engagement. So that's something you're going to have to get used to as a public figure. Are there others out there that take it super extreme? Yeah, they put something in the title and it has nothing to do with what they put in the title, you know, their video. Absolutely. Because it creates engagement. But even articles from people that are pro-Disney uses clickbait just to attract people to read their stuff. So something you're going to have to get used to.
Yeah,
It's also discipline. It takes a lot of discipline to, you're talking about ignoring. The first thing I'm going to remind everyone watching is that her character is fictional.
Are you serious, Whoopi? Did you really just point out something that I didn't realize? That her character is fictional on the Acolyte? Seriously? You mean she doesn't really walk around with lightsabers and use the Force? Breaking news. Her character is fictional. Wow. Unbelievable. Again, you're trying to say that people are attacking Amandla with these horrific things, yet I don't see any evidence of it. Please show me evidence. And yes, we know that her character is fictional. People are attacking the show, the storytelling, the direction, the lore breaking, everything else. Passionate fans are calling some of this stuff out. And you can't, you know, go back to name calling. This whole interview started off as, well, right-wingers didn't like it, and death threats and racism. Now it's like, you idiots online, don't you know her character is fictional? Really? I'm blown away here by what I've just learned. But I guess keep playing victim, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
So the fact that you are responding to this fictional character as though you were having dinner with her and she changed overnight for you. So always remember that the people who are yelling at you often are bots.
And yes, I'm going to agree with Whoopi here. Most of the discourse that we see online of people attacking each other are exactly that. They're just bots to stir up engagement and algorithm and controversy. So I give you that one.
And not real.
That's true.
And don't know you like you know you, and don't know that you can kick your own behind better than anybody else can. Put them out of your mind. They don't matter.
Well, this is what happens. If you go to the YouTube channel, The View, and see this interview, you can watch the full interview yourself. I'll put the link in the description. The comment section is very telling. Basically the same thing. They're like, this sounds like victimhood. Why are you calling this stuff out? This makes no sense. This wasn't about race. This is about a bad show. So on and so on. But this is what happens. People get criticized for a horrible show. They pass the blame to something else. They call people isms, phobes, whatever, for not liking a certain show. They take it to the media. The media presses on that this stuff is happening. Then it trickles down to the bot system, which we've already discovered. Just ask Master of the TDS. And then it becomes a reality to anyone criticizing a show that they don't want criticized. It's just a trickle-down effect. It's a tactic that's been used over and over again. Are there real idiots out there that make horrific statements? Yes, I cover them all the time. I cover them when they say stuff about other, like I said, with Star Wars Theory. I just recently did one on that. And others. It's always going to be there if you are on the internet. But to say that the ones criticizing the show are, you know, a racist, sounds like victimhood. And like I said, you can go through the comment section yourself and see people are basically saying the same thing. So what are your thoughts on the interview? Let me know in the comment section below. And please tell me, Jay, you're wrong here. She has been facing this kind of stuff. You just haven't been looking for it. Hey, let me know. Educate me. Or you can say, yeah, this is just another example of playing victim because they don't like the criticism that they're getting for a show. And again, I don't really blame the actors. You know, it's the writers and the director that are putting stuff on the screen. And there you have it. So I think that's who is to blame. But again, let me know your thoughts. This is Jay, Acolyte. I don't know what episode are we on. 7? Coming soon.